see the shorts and
Good evening.
untucked
This
shirt.
is a meeting of the Athens Board of Zoning Appeal. The time is 7:01 on Tuesday, September 10, 2013. At this time, I will call the meeting to order. The board consists of 5 members and 2 alternates, the alternates taking full part in the discussions and becoming a voting member in the absence of a member or when a member abstains for conflict of interest. Present tonight are Mr. Greg Lovell, John Krajinski, Lisa Carson, and alternate member Kate Housley, who will be hearing and voting as a regular member tonight. I am John Golsey, acting chair. Also present is Mr. John Paskey, zoning administrator. The board operates according to the following procedure. The chair will name and describe the case. The zoning administrator or secretary will state the basis of the objection and any applicable facts or conditions pertaining to the case. The appellant or their representative will give reason why the appeal should be viewed favorably. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the request will speak. Anyone wishing to speak in general comments will be heard. Anyone wishing to speak on opposition will be heard. If necessary, the appellant or their representative will offer concluding summary or rebuttal remarks. Testimony from the floor shall be closed. The board will deliberate and render a decision. According to the Athens City Code Section 230703B, the board has power to grant variances from the strict application of the code, provided that the variance will not be contrary to the public interest, the spirit of code is observed, public safety and welfare are secured, and substantial justice is done. According to Athens City Code Section 230710C, variances from the code shall not be granted unless the board finds, based on direct, specific findings of the fact, that each of the following conditions has been supported. Number 1 is practical difficulty or undue hardship. Because of exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions pertaining to the specific piece of property, a literal enforcement of these regulations will result in practical difficulty or undue hardship that is unnecessary to the achievement of public interest. Number 2, exceptional circumstances. There are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applying to the property in question or to the intended use of the property that do not apply generally to other properties or classes or uses in the same zone. Preservation of equal property rights. Literal interpretation of these regulations would deprive the appellant of rights commonly enjoyed by others in the same zone and the same vicinity, while granting of the requested variance will not confer on the applicant any special privilege that is denied to other properties in the same zone and the same vicinity. Minimum variance. The variance granted is the minimum variance required to make possible the reasonable use of the property. Absence of detriment. The authorization of such variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property and will not materially impair the purpose of the zoning code or the public interest. And finally, not of a general nature. The condition or situation of the specific piece of property or the intended use of said property for which variance is sought, one or the other or in combination, is not of so general or recurrent of a nature as to make reasonably practicable the formulation of a general regulation for such condition or situation. Any person, resident or officer department or appointed body of the city of Athens aggrieved by a decision of the board may petition the Athens County Court of Common Pleas concerning the illegality of the decision. Such petition must be filed within 30 days after the mailing of the decision of the board to the appellant. We have two cases tonight, and the cases are in the order that we're going to be hearing. Case 13-09V, 27 South May Avenue. And the second case would be case 133-10V, Zone R1, and the property is at 10676 Door Lane. Okay, John, I'm just seeing maybe a discrepancies on the case numbers. The first one says 13-09, the second one is 133. Is that number?
It should probably be 13.
Okay, the case number 13-10V. The board is required to take testimony under oath. Would anyone wishing to speak concerning any item on the agenda please stand? Do you swear or affirm that any testimony you will present to the board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Be seated, please. Okay. Case number one is case 1309V and Zone R1. The address is 27 South May Avenue. And the appellants are Tracy Kitts and Tina Hall. Appellants requesting a variance from ACC 2310 Table A, Schedule of Wall Controls, to allow construction of an accessory structure with a rear yard setback of 0 feet, where 5 feet is the required minimum, and lot coverage of 33%, where 30% is the maximum allowed. And this case is continued from last month because there was no appellants present. John, anything that you want to add?
No, and if you remember that testimony of a couple people that
Right.
spoke in favor of it, the rear wall of the structure is in the existing rear wall of the location of the existing building that's
Right.
there. And I believe Joni had a question that we might want to throw in there, because I don't know the clarification on it, whether we want to say 4 feet on the side yard versus 5 feet is a variance request as well. I always went by the 10% lot cover, or the 10% lot width, minimum of 4 feet, so that's why we didn't throw it in there. But I do know she brought it up last time, so that way we got our bases covered.
Okay, great.
Right.
And that was Mr. Tim Vickers at 102 Elmwood Place that they spoke on your behalf in favor of the variance. Any questions from the board for Mr. Paskey? Well, if you would like to join the podium maybe, and do we have?
Sure. So stand over here? Or?
Yes, at the podium, there is a microphone. And please state your name and your address for the record.
Sure. My name is Tracy Kitts, and my address is 27 South May Avenue.
Okay, and is there anything you would like to add besides what you presented to us?
Well, I think we covered our bases. We did get 7 of our 9 neighbors, that's in the file, that supported it with a letter. The other 2, because we couldn't find the owner of the property, I think they're rentals. So everybody around us is supporting it. I did bring a few additional pictures if you'd like to see them of the existing structure.
Sure.
So this shows, this is the alleyway, so this is our neighbor's house, and then this is the garage as it is now. So there's a number of buildings that are right on the property line. This is the front of the garage, and what we want to do is maintain this wall and then move it into our lot. And then the other thing that's of concern when I talk to my contractor is that if we were to move it in, we would have to do a new curb cut, and we would have to take out these trees, and we would likely have to get this utility pole. So there's significant changes to the project that would probably mean we wouldn't go forward.
So as it is right now, you won't be required to remove any of these trees?
We don't want to move. We'll leave the existing curb cut, and then there'll be a single entry into the garage for one car, but then extend it. Right now, our garage has all our bikes in it and everything else. We don't have room for a car. Actually, you couldn't fit a car in
You
there
couldn't fit a
anyway.
car in there.
Yeah.
I was just curious if you needed to remove any of these trees.
We don't plan to.
You'd have to
Yeah.
talk to the tree
Right,
commission. They're
yeah.
probably on city right away and.
Yeah, when we talked about the project, there's no intent to move those trees.
Okay,
So
that was
unless
the
we ran into
concern.
something that we didn't anticipate.
Okay, thank you. Anything else you would like to add?
Were there any questions? I think we listed out the reasons why we thought that the variance ought to be granted. I think that you're aware that there is a property on the corner of Maplewood and Shannon where there was recently constructed. A garage is on the property line, and it's well over, from looking at the lot, I'm guessing that it's at least 40 or 50%. So it's in keeping with what's been done in the neighborhood already. And there would be, so I think we've addressed, the structure is going to be, we're going to try to maintain that wall, use the existing foundation and slab, and that, we're not significantly changing it in a way that's going to impact our neighbors in any way.
Questions from the board members? No? Joan? I'd just like to mention that we do have a number of almost 7 letters. They all have the same text but signed by your neighbors in favor of the variance. Well, thank you. You may be seated and we may be calling you again if we
Okay.
need to. We only have one more person in the audience. I don't think you want to talk in general or in opposition or in favor.
This is my wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's for it.
Okay, all right, great, thank you. Any discussions before we formulate
That was my leg.
a motion?
We need a motion. I move that we grant a variance from Athens City Code, Section 23.10, Table A, Schedule of Bulk Controls, to allow construction of an accessory structure with a rear setback of 0 feet, where 5 feet is the required minimum, and lot coverage of 33%, where 30% is the maximum allowed.
And so are we including that, you said setback of 5 feet? So does that include that 230311 accessory structure, which requires a 5-foot setback? It doesn't include that, right?
We can throw it in there. That
Right.
5 foot's required. We're at 4 feet. R1 does allow the
However you wanna
structure,
write
the
that.
primary structure, to be 10% of lot width. That's a 40-foot lot. So
Yeah, also to include a variance for 4-foot setback instead of 5 foot for accessory structure according to 230311.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll second.
Okay, let's go quickly through the discussions of findings. That happens to be practical difficulty and undue hardship. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but
Well, one of the hardships is it was built such a long time ago that it's no longer feasible to fit a modern car in, and thus pretty much remains unusable except for small items such as bicycles and lawnmowers and such.
okay, exceptional circumstances. Same.
I would say so, yes.
Plus, the wall is not changing, so I don't think the layout of the building is going to change. Preservation of equal property rights.
Well, I don't think it's going to convey any special privileges because there are other places in that vicinity that have had to build or expand a garage of sorts for, and those properties are so small that it seems that it's in keeping with the needs of that neighborhood because it's an older neighborhood.
Okay. Minimum variance. I think it's relatively minimum
Yeah.
for what
Yeah.
you're proposing. Absence of detriment. No, and in fact we have a number of people in support of the variance.
Correct.
And not of a general nature.
Not usually, no.
Okay. Well, let's just start with you, Kay.
I vote yes.
Yes.
I vote yes.
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 And I vote yes as well, so you have the variance.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, let's go to case number 2.
There's no appellant.
There's no appellant. And let me just kind of go over, see what the case is. Case 13-10V, property is at 10676 Door Lane. And the appellants are Robert Prep and Door Lane Ltd. Appellant is requesting a variance from ACC 230401A1 to allow 3 rental units and 2 principal structures on a lot in R1 zone where 1 rental unit and 1 principal structure are the maximum allowed. And I believe, Mr. Lavelle, you would like to, you had something we discussed before.
Well, I'd like to hear if John has anything to say about the case for.
Well, I think, I do not know if Paul included for all of you. I have minutes from the Planning Commission, Council, whatever it may, let me see here. Planning Development Committee from September of 2007 when this property was annexed in. I think obviously with the applicant out here, we're going to need to table this, and I think I best run copies of all of this for you to read through yourself and look and see. This project or property was annexed in 2007. It was pretty much very well defined at that time that it was an R1 property, and that it was just to be a single family house. He annexed in, I believe, for city services at the time, and we received a phone call here this past summer that from a tenant wanting to know why we hadn't inspected it, and we go up there and find out that the main house has been turned into a duplex, and there was also a garage unit in the garage, so it's a triplex in an R1, and it's also 2 primary structures on a lot in the R1, which only one structure is allowed. So, but it's been this way for quite some time, so I'll let him do the talking as to why and so on and so forth for you.
Okay.
John, I wasn't really able to find the exact location of the place.
That was part of the confusion. Our office included thought this was out of the city until we did our research and on this, found out that it was annexed in. It's up behind. There's apartments up there now that are not in the city, kind of up behind.
Up the hill.
Yeah, Bill Walker owns a building there on Columbus Road, and it's up the hill.
So that is not part of,
Do you know where the storage units are?
Yeah.
There, it's up the hill behind that. So.
Well, there is a road says dead end, and I went in there. There were a couple of old houses in there. There was another driveway that continues. I didn't continue on it.
that
but
was the driveway.
Yes,
that
that's
was
it.
the driveway.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so it would have been built, from the way I'm reading and everything, probably about 2007.
And how many other houses are there?
None.
None. So this is really sitting by itself.
Yeah, and that part of the thing is with that, we don't have any 5 number addresses within the city either, so that's another thing that kind of threw us for a loop, that 10676, so,
So John, there's a house on Door before, when you turn on, take a right on Door, and then you follow Door, kind of goes right, and there's a little house to the left. Is that in the
I
city?
don't think it is. That house right there, I do not believe is. I can look into it for you. It's.
Yeah, 'cause it looks like it on that map.
Well, it may be. And I actually spoke to Nancy Bain and the mayor about this a little bit because they were both, on council or remember this specific annexation because there was some sort of he gave property to the city that's owned open space as well, and I don't know if that was an agreement to get utilities or what was going on, but in any instance, it is an R1 and. They have a triplex there. So in essence, the way it's been separated out.
And this structures are sitting on 5 acres of property, so
I think the open space land that was given was closer
24?
to 20, yeah, over
Yeah.
20 acres.
I think Teresa told me that it was 5 acres according to the auditor's office.
Right.
The house sat on 5 acres, so that would,
So I think what's best, like I said, is there's 13 pages here, or 14 pages. I think it's best for me to run copies for everyone and let's put it in your packet for next
Well,
meeting.
Mr. Paskey, we are going to take a vote on that to make sure that we want to table that. But in general, when we have an application, when we have a statement from the appellants that they have been turned in, I mean, we could technically, not for this case, but in general, go ahead and hear the cases, right?
I suppose I didn't know they turned a statement in.
Oh, yeah, well, in every package, they have put their,
oh,
All
right,
wood
absolutely, yeah.
they have put all their finding, whatever they want to write. And so we necessarily don't have to table every case. But in this particular case, I think we should maybe,
I think with as much stuff as I have here in front of me, that you
so,
Well, can I ask another question
Sure.
here? According to the letter that was sent to the applicant by the Lisa Eliason, city prosecutor, I mean, they had to come before here, or they were going to start being, there were fines that were supposed to be levied, and so now they don't even show here, so what do we,
That's out of our hands.
yeah, we will find out and we'll go from there.
So I move that we table this case until the next meeting.
I second.
and you vote?
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, we'll do that. All that's left for tonight is to dispose the minutes of August 13, right? Last month.
I move we approve minutes of August 2013.
Okay. And there was July 9 that you made a correction of what
Right, that was all
and that's
done,
been
yeah,
already done.
right.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Do we have a motion to adjourn? Anything else we need to discuss?
Who seconded the door lane one?
Oh.
Oh, I did.
Joan did.
Okay.
A motion to adjourn?
Thank
Move
you.
that we adjourn.
All in favor?
Second and aye.
Okay, thank you all, thank you.
Ooh.